The National Party of Australia, also known as the Nationals or the Nats, is an Australian political party, traditionally representing graziers, farmers, and rural voters generally. It began as the Australian Country Party in 1920 at a federal level. It later adopted the name National Country Party in 1975, before taking its current name in 1982. Federally, and in New South Wales, and to an extent in Victoria and historically in Western Australia, it has in government been the minor party in a centre-right coalition with the Liberal Party of Australia, and its leader has usually served as Deputy Prime Minister. In opposition, the coalition was usually maintained, but even otherwise the party still generally continued to work in cooperation with the Liberal Party of Australia, due to the closeness and integration of the two parties, as well as the declining vote of the Nationals in recent years. It has been proposed several times that the two parties formally merge with one another. In Queensland, for instance, the Country Party was the senior coalition party between 1925 and 2008, after which it merged in that state with the Junior Liberal Party of Australia to form the Liberal National Party. Despite taking a conservative position socially, the National Party has long pursued agrarian socialist economic policies, ensuring support for farmers, either through government grants and subsidies or through community appeals, is a major focus of National Party policy. According to Ian McAllister, the National Party is the only remaining agrarian socialist party from the wave of agrarian socialist parties set up around the Western world in the 1920s. The current leader of the National Party is Barnaby Joyce. The deputy leader of the Nationals, since the 4th of February 2020, is David Littleproud. The Country Party was formally founded in 1913 in Western Australia, and nationally in 1920, from a number of state-based parties such as the Victorian Farmers Union and the Farmers and Settlers Party of New South Wales. Australia's first country party was founded in 1912 by Harry J. Stevens, editor of The Farmer and Settler, but, under fierce opposition from rival newspapers, failed to gain momentum. The VFU won a seat in the House of Representatives at the Corangamite by-election held in December 1918, with the help of the newly introduced preferential voting system. At the 1919 federal election, the state-based country parties won federal seats in New South Wales, Victoria and Western Australia. They also began to win seats in state parliaments. In 1920, the Country Party was established as a national party led by William McWilliams from Tasmania. In his first speech as leader, McWilliams laid out the principles of the new party, stating, "We crave no alliance. We spurn no support, but we intend drastic action to secure closer attention to the needs of primary producers." McWilliams was deposed as party leader in favor of Earl Page in April 1921. Following instances where McWilliams voted against the party line, McWilliams later left the Country Party to sit as an independent. According to historian B. D. Graham, the graziers who operated the sheep stations were politically conservative. They disliked the Labour Party, which represented their workers, and feared that Labour governments would pass unfavourable legislation and listen to foreigners and communists. The graziers were satisfied with the marketing organisation of their industry, opposed any change in land tenure and labour relations, and advocated lower tariffs, low freight rates, and low taxes. On the other hand, Graham reports, the small farmers, not the graziers, founded the Country Party. The farmers advocated government intervention in the market through price support schemes and marketing pools. The graziers often politically and financially supported the Country Party, which in turn made the Country Party more conservative. The Country Party's first election as a united party, in 1922, saw it in an unexpected position of power. It won enough seats to deny the Nationalists an overall majority. It soon became apparent that the price for country support would be a full-fledged coalition with the Nationalists. However, Page let it be known that his party would not serve under Hughes, and forced his resignation. Page then entered negotiations with the Nationalists' new leader, Stanley Bruce. For a coalition government, Page wanted 5 seats for his country party in a cabinet of 11, including the treasurer portfolio and the second rank in the ministry for himself. These terms were unusually stiff for a prospective junior coalition partner in a Westminster system, and especially so for such a new party. Nonetheless, with no other politically realistic coalition partner available, Bruce readily agreed, and the Bruce-Page ministry was formed. This began the tradition of the country party leader ranking second in coalition cabinets. Page remained dominant in the party,